When you think of cities in GTA, names like Los Santos, Vice City, Liberty City, these roll off the tongue. But Carcer City, most people would assume you're talking about some horror flick, and weirdly, they'd be kinda right. Carcer City is one of the deepest, darkest hidden threads in Rockstar's universe. It's a place that haunts the margins, referenced across GTA, but never fully revealed, at least so far. It's where Manhunt takes place, yet it bleeds into the GTA lore in subtle, cryptic ways. In this video, we're going to dig through every scrap of evidence, radio broadcast, game files, lore wikis, theories, and Easter eggs. We'll ask, what is Carcer City? Where was it supposed to be? What real-world inspirations might it draw from? And why does Michael remember it so vividly in GTA 5? By the end, I'm going to give you my best theory, the one I believe fits all the clues, and invite you to debate it in the comments. In Manhunt, you play as James Earl Cash, a death row inmate who was apparently executed, but in truth was only sedated. He wakes up in Carcer City under the control of a mysterious voice known as the Director, forced to kill gang members in the live snuff film style hunts. The underlying manipulation is controlled by Lionel Starkweather, a wealthy, corrupt director figure who has effectively bought control of the city's institutions, especially law enforcement. Carcer City's landmarks are Dark Woods Penitentiary, Carcer Zoo, old junkyards, a city library, a casino, all decayed, all used as battlegrounds. Manhunt shows Carcer has subway tunnels, underground passageways. Some missions take place in what looks like metro tunnels. Also, Carcer is repeatedly described or implied as post-industrial, Rust Belt decay, factories shut, infrastructure failing, neighborhoods falling apart. So from its core, Carcer has water adjacency, underground transit, heavy decay, gang control, corrupt law enforcement, a sprawling layout. Keep all that in mind. Now, Carcer isn't just confined to Manhunt. Rockstar drops breadcrumbs across GTA. That's where the mystery bleeding begins. In GTA 3, a radio broadcast on Lips 106 mentions Carcer City, nearby Carcer City, referencing the police chief Gary Schaffer being cleared of corruption. That's a direct tie to Manhunt. The same name, the same chief. In Vice City, we see a mattress store that claims it's the best mattresses in Carcer. Also, mailboxes with Carcer City addresses appear, subtle but consistent. In San Andreas, radio adverts mention the flaming river in Carcer, the steel mills closing, people threatening to move to Carcer City if life is tough. In GTA 4 records, police database entries list some people as born in Carcer. In the stats menu, there's an entry called Liberty to Carcer. Distance traveled, Carcer is measurable from Liberty. In GTA 5, Michael himself says 88 outskirts of Carcer City, took a small franchise for 10G. That is explicit. Also, there's a street in Rockford Hills called Carcer Way. Arcade Easter eggs referencing cam heads that hint on Carcer's game world. These aren't throwaway jabs, they suggest a persistent myth. All these references across games, they tie Carcer into GTA's lore, but they also raise contradictions. That's the meat of the mystery. We now line up all major clues and examine where they push and where they pull. The GTA 3 radio says that Carcer is nearby Liberty City. That suggests Carcer lies within the same broad region, East Coast, Mid-Atlantic, or just inland from New York. But many of Carcer's associations, Rust Belt imagery, industrial decline, rivers catching fire, point more to the Midwest or Great Lakes region, not the Far East. So already we have tension. Can Carcer be both near Liberty and also part of the Heartland decay? San Andreas ads mention dining under a flaming river. That's not poetic fluff. That echoes the real Cuyahoga River in Cleveland, which famously caught fire due to the pollution in the 20th century. That is a potent, specific clue. Cleveland is central in the Rust Belt and has that burning river lore. It fits Carcer's decay narrative. Manhunt maps include a station called Rockstar Bay. Bay implies water adjacency. Rockstar could nod to Rockstar North. If Carcer has underground or metro transit, then it can't be a completely small town. it has density, infrastructure, possibly water routes. So Carcer likely borders a major body of water and has subterranean transit elements. In GTA 4, your stats menu has Liberty to Carcer. That means the game treats Carcer as a real location relative to Liberty City with measurable distance. Interestingly, the order of stats, Liberty, Carcer is often listed before Liberty, capital, implying Carcer is closer than the capital is. That suggests that Carcer is not across the entire continent. Michael's quote, "a bank robbery on the outskirts of Carcer City," that means Carcer is large enough to have suburbs or fringe zones with banks to hit. He lives in the middle, US, and his lore often plays in or near the Midwest. So Carcer being in proximity to him supports a Midwest Great Lakes location. References in the 3D era, GTA sometimes clash with the HD era routes. Carcer in GTA 3 feels near Liberty. Carcer in GTA 5 feels in the heartland. Some fans believe there are effectively two Carcers, one lore Carcer in the 3D universe, closer to Liberty, and another lore Carcer in the HD universe, moved more Midwest. That lets Rockstar keep flexibility. But in all GTA universes, cities tend to map consistently. Liberty, New York, Los Santos, LA. They rarely reinvent core city correspondences, so having Carcer shift feels odd unless Carcer is meant to be ambiguous by design. So let's line up likely real city inspirations versus the clues and see which city fits best or fails badly. Cleveland, Ohio. Matches. The Flaming River, Cuyahoga Fires strongly align. It's on Lake Erie, industrial decline, Rust Belt identity. And the challenges are that it's not super near New York, real subway underground infrastructure is limited. The Liberty to Carcer distance may stretch. Buffalo, Western New York. Matches water adjacency, Lake Erie, somewhat closer to New York corridor, some industrial decline. And the challenges are that it's a smaller scale, weaker tie to Flaming River lore, transit underground systems, weak. The verdict is that it's possible, especially for 3D era Carcer. Philadelphia. Matches proximity to New York, fits near Liberty City. Urban decay zones in these regions. And the challenges are that there are no big lake adjacency, no burning river metaphor, industrial collapse less iconic. The verdict is that it's less strong but helps in the near Liberty side of theory. Chicago, Illinois. And the matches are that it's a big city, Lake Michigan adjacency, large scales, suburbs for outskirts. Challenges are very far from New York, Liberty to Carcer distance is huge. The Flaming River clue doesn't match. The verdict is that weak for the near Liberty hints, better for a Midwest only mapping. Composite shift theory. The matches are that it combines Cleveland's river, Philadelphia's closeness, Chicago's scale, allows Carcer to be semi-floating, adapting across GTA universes. Challenges are that it's less satisfying if you want a precise city. You're given a clean, this is it answer. The verdict is that probably what Rockstar intended, an evocative fictional city that pulls from multiple sources. So here's how I believe it works, pulling all that together. Carcer is primarily modeled on Cleveland, Great Lakes, Rust Belt, Flaming River, but in GTA's lore it has been stylized and compressed. In the 3D era, it sits closer to Liberty City. In the HD era, Carcer drifts into the Midwest Great Lakes zone, aligning more with Michael's backstory. Let me explain step by step. The Flaming River clue is too strong to dismiss. That points to Cleveland's real history. The water adjacency industrial vibe fits Cleveland more than inland cities. Michael's memory, his criminal origins, suggests Carcer is not ridiculously far from his operations. The nearby Liberty City reference likely stem from lore stylization or map compression in older GTA games. They wanted to tie Carcer more directly into the East Coast cluster. So Carcer is a fictional city with real inspirations, anchored heavily in Cleveland's imagery, but reinterpreted to work in the narrative geography of GTA. So Carcer City might never be fully visited in a GTA game, but its presence adds mythic depth. Will Carcer ever be used in future GTAs? Many fans hope so. It would be a dark, gritty contrast to bright San Andreas Los Santos setting. If Rockstar does bring Carcer forward, I expect they'll lean on its Cleveland core, the river industrial ruins to match Manhunt lore. But But also, the ambiguity might be intentional. Carcer exists partly in shadow. It's a mirror, a legend more than a fixed map. So where is Carcer City? It's not a simple answer, but I believe the strongest case is that Carcer is built on Cleveland plus mythic elements shifted in lore to straddle East and Midwest with purposefully blurry geography. Does that resolve every clue? No, but it comes closer than Chicago or Philadelphia alone. It ties the Flaming River, industrial decay, and Michael's memory into the cohesive theory. If you think differently, if you think it's something else, drop your evidence in the comments. Let's see whose theory holds. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos. Until then, peace out.